Hey everybody, Casey here. So it's day 3 at WAFC in Denver, Colorado. And let me tell you, this has been a terrific conference. I love the combination of priorities that they have created for this conference. Talking a lot about innovation, talking a lot about education, putting a real focus on how companies, whether they're retailers or vendors, how they can continue to fund and support educational initiatives throughout the industry. It's really, really interesting. So listen, there were a number of speakers today. They started out with Sarah Thomas, who's the first female official in the National Football League, and she's going into her 10th season. And it was a real fun presentation. And there were 2 things I wanted to share with you that I took away from it. One was that one of the reasons she got recruited by the NFL, she was doing a lot of other officiating, is that she had field presence, but she was also seen as being coachable. And I think that's a really good combination for anybody in their careers. That's what companies should be looking for. You want people with field presence, but you also want to know that they're coachable. Really, really important. The next thing we had was another Capstone presentation by recent graduates of the USC Food Industry Management program. And this one was by a group that calls themselves Team Cyber Guards. And they really wanted to look at cybercrime, how it's affecting the industry, and what the business community, the retail and vendor business community could do about it. And this was in a lot of ways really, really scary. And they were talking about a real mindset shift. That's what they think is really, really important. And listen, they were talking about the fact that billions and billions of dollars have been lost to cybercrime in 2023 alone. The expectation is that in 2027, $24 trillion could be lost by various businesses just in the United States to cybercrime. And basically, their presentation talked about how the value proposition has changed, that it's really important for companies to start to invest in all these different initiatives to fight cybercrime, because doing that, while it may be expensive, is going to be a lot cheaper than paying ransom to hackers. And we're going to see more and more of that going along. They talked about it being an arms race at this point. It's business community against the bad actors. And no company has the option of being complacent about this. It's really interesting. At one point, they played this audio of Mike Steigers of Wakefern, basically a telephone call in which he said, "Hey, listen, I need those financial numbers and I need those files. Just do me a favor, send them to this particular Dropbox so I can access them." But it wasn't actually his voice. It was created by AI. I think, like I said, it scared the crap out of people because it sounded so realistic. Mike Steigers of the audience, I don't even know how he reacted to it. But listen, one of the things they talked about, there was a need for collaboration on the part of retailers and vendors. There needs to be cultural awareness, device integrity, synchronized efforts to deal with this stuff, training and routine reinforcement of whatever processes are put in place on the various platforms. And then listen, as hackers get smarter and better, that's something that retailers have to do as well. They talked about having to identify vulnerabilities, to protect the company, detect problems by double checking, respond to problems, and then recover from the problems and create better governance throughout organizations. It was really, really interesting, and it really convinced me, while scaring me a little bit, how important it is for these companies not to be seen as a weak link or an easy target. They have to be proactive. And I'm sure that if you reached out to Cynthia McLeod at USC, she could help you gain access to some of the things they were talking about, these scoreboards they're putting together that will help companies figure out where they are on the scale of defensibility, so they can deal with cybercrime. So that was really interesting. And the last general session was Guy Fieri of the Food Network and various programs and restaurants. And I got to be honest with you, never been a big Guy Fieri fan. A lot of show there. And as far as I was concerned, I didn't know that much, but if there was that much show, how much go was there? But I have to say, he won me over a little bit in what he talked about on stage, because he talked a lot about how he has developed philanthropic efforts to feed people, especially first responders in disasters all over the country. I thought that was really important. And the other thing, frankly, he talked about is the importance of food to various communities. And he said, listen, people are more willing than ever to try different kinds of food And it's the greatest open window right now to the world of food that has ever been. I think that's a really important message to send to food retailers. And if you've been watching or reading Morning Newsbeat for any period of time, you know that one of my observations about the industry is it doesn't focus enough on food. It focuses too much on processes and operations and technology, but doesn't focus enough on making sure that when people come into a store, it smells good. There's things that they can taste that taste good, that excite their imagination. So I think the Guy Fieri message was really, really interesting, and I think a positive one for the industry. And finally, there was the town hall that I moderated today, and it was really, really interesting. And I had great panelists. I had Kevin Curry from Albertsons, Wendy Coldecina from Costco, Levi Wingo from Raley's, Nick Schott from Red Bull, Toby Saricki, also from Albertsons, Jake Sochi from PepsiCo, Adria Campbell from Malk Organics, and Paul Stoffel from Stater Brothers. And it would be really, really, we talked for like an hour and 15 minutes on stage, and it would be really difficult for me to put that in just a few words. But let me try. I think there was a recognition that everybody that was on the stage talked about, the importance of continuing education, both through programs that USC offers. And by the way, the FIM program, well, they were all graduates at various times of the FIM program. A couple of them had just graduated now. But also within organizations. Continuing education, so you can figure out who are the people who have leadership capabilities, who are the people who don't want to be leaders but are particularly good workers, who are the people who can drive companies forward, who are the people that can further cultural advancements within organizations. Wendy Coldecina made a point about Costco is, listen, as you're growing as much as a company like Costco is, it's incredibly important that the people who run the store that's opening next week feel the culture as intensely as she felt the culture when she started working at Costco 34 years ago. Really interesting panel discussion, but listen, to me it reinforced what I think is important, which is educating people. It reinforced for me the importance of teaching people how to be good leaders, productive leaders, compassionate leaders, and it reinforced for me that the work of the WAFC is absolutely terrific. This has been a great conference to attend. It's been great to hang out with people who read Morning Newsbeat. That's a lot of fun. And listen, I hope they invite me back because I'd love to come back. And anybody who qualifies to attend WAFC should absolutely make it their mission to do so in 2025 and beyond. Anyway, that's what's on my mind. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.